Ocean City this morning. People there preparing for the effects of Hurricane Dorian.
It is the 6th day of the month, and this day brings with it a tropical storm, well, hurricane now, tropical storm eventually, moving right on up the coastline. Checking in with meteorologist Meg McNamara for a look at Dorian.
Yes, so from Hurricane Dorian, southern Maryland, portions of the eastern shore are going to see tropical storm force winds. So we could see winds between 39 to 73 miles an hour. As for the rain that we're expecting, we could see some of these outer bands continuing really throughout the day. It'll start to get a little bit heavier, but really for the most part, the heaviest of the rain will stay well away from Maryland. The portions of red, tropical storm warning. So I mentioned it's because of the winds that we're expecting. We'll time those out for you with meteorologist Tim Williams, who also has the latest on the track of Dorian. Tim?
Well, Meg, as you mentioned, this tropical system is moving right on up the coastline, currently about 20 miles to the southeast of Cape Lookout. Now, as a 90-mile-per-hour sustained wind, it is still a Category 1 hurricane, very large storm. The eye wall collapsing just a little bit. As Dorian is moving up the eastern seaboard, is moving into cooler waters. It's still a huge storm with a huge rain shield. So we're seeing those bands, we're seeing those impacts, but the storm is starting to collapse just a little bit. Moving to the northeast at 14 miles per hour, it is going to stay as a Category 1 hurricane right on through tomorrow morning, expecting to move right on past the mid-Atlantic off the coast by about 150 miles or so, eventually Saturday morning up toward New York, and then eventually up into the Canadian Maritime, up toward Newfoundland as a tropical storm. But we are getting those impacts. We are not seeing a direct impact here, of course, but we're getting a glancing blow. And for us, what that means is that the winds, as Meg talked about, are going to be at tropical storm force levels at around 39 miles per hour at times, but the rains only about an inch or so in areas down around Ocean City and Salisbury. You get on the western shores of the bay, and we're only going to see trace amounts. We'll continue to keep you posted. The next update from the National Hurricane Center will be issued at 8 o'clock. Lynn?
Hurricane Dorian's eye wall targets the North Carolina coast this morning. In the Bahamas, the death toll has climbed to 30 people. But many officials fear that number will continue rising in the coming days because hundreds are still missing. Here in the U.S., the storm battered the Carolinas. Heavy winds and even tornadoes spawned from the storm. At least 5 deaths have been reported in the United States. People in Ocean City have been preparing to feel the effects of the storm. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is live there and explains how everyone has been getting ready. Mike.
Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, everybody. You can see the angry ocean behind me now that it is daybreak. Ominous skies, a lot of rough surf here, and that was the case yesterday as well when we were out by the inlet area here in Ocean City. They do expect some flooding in some low-lying areas and lots of wind. We've been feeling the wind gusts here. They've been getting stronger up to about 40 miles an hour now, and they are prepared for sustained winds up to 35 miles an hour. We talked to the emergency services director here in Ocean City.
We've been tracking it like everybody else has. It's the storm that just won't go away. But fortunately, it's going to pass by us very quickly, and he'll be an afterthought after this.
And he has been tracking this for 2 weeks now. They do expect some beach erosion, and they have closed up the seawalls. But the good news, on Saturday, it should be a beautiful day here, although they're advising people for now to stay out of the water. Very high rip current danger, as you can see just how angry the surf is here in Ocean City this morning. For now, we're live in Ocean City. Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Thank you, Mike. 6:34 now, and our team coverage continues on Hurricane Dorian as Governor Larry Hogan sends a team of soldiers from Maryland to North Carolina.
Mike Hsu joins us with details about their mission. Mike.
Good morning, Lynn. That team was sent to North Carolina early so they could be in place and be prepared for when they're needed.
Thursday, the governor deploys a special helicopter team to North Carolina ahead of the hurricane to help with recovery effort. It consists of 2 Black Hawk helicopters with 4 crew members from the Maryland Army National Guard and 2 divers from the county fire departments. Brigadier General Adam Flash says that the call from the governor came in around 11 in the morning and the team was en route just 5 hours later.
We recognize the absolute criticality of the National Guard and how much our citizens rely on us and how we can never be late in their moment of need.
The general says between specialized training and highly equipped helicopters, they'll be able to make rescues in swift water and flood zones.
They're called HART, or Helicopter Aquatic Rescue Team. They're on a 14-day deployment, but that will be extended if needed. I'm Mike Shue reporting live for WJZ.